Welcome back to a little bit of Hardcore Grim Dawn, QuestySparks, Lightning and Plague, picking up exactly where we left off. A couple sessions in a row here just to bang these out before the week. And we have just worked our way through the Mountain Deeps. Now we do have a quest that we can cash in back on the other side to tell that guy that we found his sister, or rather her body. But what I'm instead going to do is I'm going to press forward to Homestead so that we can complete both quests when we get there. But I am seeing a Savage Totem. I think that's probably going to be down here in an area which we are potentially going to entirely skip in the veteran playthrough here. Probably leave that until Elite. Lots of XP there, but we probably don't need it to push forward and unlock the next difficulty level. So, so basically that if we carry on down here, we can unlock an area called the Pine Barrens. There is a lot of quests there, some kill quests, some dungeons, lots of cool shit. It's sort of like what I was talking about in the last episode, which of course I remember and you might not because I just did it. But, I was talking about how a couple of those last areas that we traversed through, they are really all about that. Like they are traversal areas, right? There's not much going on. There's not many quests. They're not really important. You just have to get through them. Pine Barrens, totally different. Pine Barrens, you can totally ignore. You don't have to do it. But it is a very activity-rich area. There's lots of quests, tons of XP on the ground, lots of things to do, and it's a little bit more challenging as well. It's not like a special area, though it does contain a number of dungeons and special areas, but you will find yourself facing some slightly tougher opponents there because it is a little bit optional. It's not like the sort of specialty dungeons, but yeah, it's a great place to go to XP. But given that XPing isn't really our the thing that we're too concerned about right now, we're more concerned about just pushing through these zones. Okay, now is when I need to pay a slight amount of attention and make sure that I really get my totems out. Oh, never mind, he's getting there. Yeah. We had so much totem momentum going on there that he just could not survive at all. These shields are really good. I already have a bunch of them, so I'm not going to pick that up, but they're quite nice as well. This is the thing. This is what I'm telling you. So when you set your loot filter up... Sorry, I changed my UI, as you can see, and now I can't remember where the loot filter is. But when you set up the loot filter, one of the things you can do is set it up so that you hide rares, but you always show double rares and monster infrequents. Just do that, because a lot of the double rares are just really excellent items per slot.
These are trying times, but we will persevere.
This guy here, he is our link up from Devil's Crossing. Remember, we were sent to acquire food for Devil's Crossing so they don't all starve to death, obviously. Basically, we'll tell him about that, and he'll say, like, nah, man, our fields are infested with bugs and shit, so we'll help him with that, and that'll kind of take care of the food quest. But you'd think I'd go in here. I'm not going to. I'm going to do something entirely different, which is go all the way back to Dead Man's Gulch. Because at Dead Man's Gulch, we've got these quest givers. Now, in order for us to advance at Devil's Crossing, we're going to want to talk to Ulgrim. We'll tell this guy too. Sorry, man. Sister's gone. And we'll tell him that we've got the Rift Gate at Homestead, so we'll shove all these guys through the portal and we're good to go. Alright, so now Ulgrim is going to become a feature going forward. He is a main character. I think I probably even mentioned that when we found him in the swamp, but he is very central to this story and the story of upcoming DLC as well. So now he's redeployed here, which is going to let us carry on with questing ahead here. Okay, lots of lore here as well, which we're going to grab because obviously it's a little bit of extra XP. And we're also going to be introduced to... Ooh, had to sneeze there. Okay, we're going to be introduced back to this guy here, Inquisitor Creed. And I don't know if you remember, but we did find some of this guy's notes. He was there investigating Warden Krieg. The names are a little confusing because they're pretty similar. But this guy was the person who was being mentioned there. So now we have a couple more of his journal entries. Once again, obviously, very much a main character. But right now, Ulgrim is going to be our contact.
But you wish that was the end of our trip. I'm going to check in with...
Okay, so Ding, first off. So a little bit more physique. And then we're going to pop in here and... We're going to pump more into that because you can see the movement speed debuff is just very good times. Okay, so now that we have Ulgrim here, he's asked us to talk to Captain Summer, who is
I'll skip the pleasantries.
the Black Legion commander here.
Right now, that's what I need. The Legion is split on two fronts. To the north, we have the Cult of Cthon.
All right, so she's basically telling us that they're fighting two directions from the town. Really what she means to say is three. Because we do have a special dungeon that this guy right here is going to tell us about. He's going to give us a quest here to go and find some cannons that were abandoned in the conflagration. We're not going to do that right now because that is a challenge dungeon that can actually get you killed when you don't have much ether resistance. So that's something for the future. But in the meantime... we have now picked up a quest from this guy to go and clear the infestation in the fields, and Captain Summer has opened the gate for us to do so, and she's also asked us to go and find the amalgamation, which is a boss. So let's get out there and let's start clearing out the fields. Sorry, I just realized I only had these two up there, and because of the fact that all the characters I've been playing lately have so many more abilities, I'm just like, do I have stuff shut down or do I just not have stuff? Turns out I just don't have stuff. I'm sitting here sniffling. Sudden sneeze there out of nowhere. Dela's diary. Wherein she writes a little bit of pulp romance. A girl's got a dream. I really, so the combination of range, like the lightning range that I have, as well as the you know, the rapid casting speed of dropping totems, I really like, because it makes kiting so easy to do. Like, you can really run around and just sort of keep a big circle going and keep dropping these things, and they just, that multiplicative damage from all those totems, you know, it just creates a circle of death after a while where you just keep moving and stay out of range. So yeah, this feels like a pretty cool build already, you know, and once again, very, very early on, so we'll see how everything scales in terms of damage, but it does feel pretty good right now. Okay, so that's all we need for destroying those egg clusters. So our next stop is actually going to be the next stage of the quest that he would give us if we went back, which is to take care of the queen. So we're going to go find that hive, and we're going to do that just following the road. I know that it's a ways ahead. I was on the Reddit the other day, and people were talking about this zone being kind of a shit zone that doesn't really have a reason to be here. I kind of don't agree. I sort of like it, you know. I like a big open zone with lots of enemies. It just lets you kind of, you know, just flex your destructive capabilities. And I find that this is pretty nice, but I don't know, to each their own. You know, I mean, I admit like nothing super incredible happens here, but really compared to other zones, is that really all that different? I don't know. Okay, so another devotion point, which is good because we've just nailed that. And then next we are going to want to, I believe, do this. Yeah, so this one's cold, but it's also a lot of electrocute and a lot of lightning. So I was going to do that, which gives us this tsunami chance, which will scale off of Ellie, which, you know, we're doing as well. And the reason for that, although, so this is only, yeah, so this is 3 points. Look at that, a little bit of pierce resist and 6% move speed. Yeah, I'm changing everything. I'm going to do that. And that's going to give us enough blue to unlock the lightning here. And then we'll just have to worry about the Ascendant, the purple. Which should be fine. We'll figure it out. There's always going to be something. But anyway, yeah, I think we're probably going to want to get Eel. Little bit of evasion chance on melee, projectile, and then move speed and pierce resist. That's a pretty good 3.1 right there. And we have to not get too fixated on just taking damage ups with this character because, you know, I'm already feeling how flimsy, how much of a glass cannon I am here. And so I don't want to let that get too crazy out of hand to where, you know, my character's basically just not survivable and I just get owned. Go, enemy hero down. Yeah, so we're just going to keep following the road here. I believe it's going to lead us where we need to go. There is a waypoint here somewhere that I do want to get. See what I mean about the kiting? Like you just, these zones of death are super satisfying. Just a little cauldron of disease and lightning. Alright, the waypoint is going to be along the road here. So I want to stick pretty close to it. Very efficiently murdering. Okay, let's get them boxed up. Come on, waypoint. I know you're out here. There's actually some side stuff in this area as well that I haven't been doing. I have a hunch that a lot of things I'm not going to be bothered with. And keep in mind, this isn't like sort of a lore complete playthrough or anything like that. I'm really just seeing where we can level this character to, and to do that, I kind of want to, you know, I don't mind getting the levels that I'll get going through veteran difficulty, but I also don't want to spend too long here. I want to get up to elite and get the increased XP payouts and the increased gear drops that come with it. I'm checking back here because sometimes this is a location for monster totems or monster shrines. Not this time. Savage totem, whatever they're called. Now, I'm getting this weird feeling like I might have already missed the waypoint, but I swear to God, it's right on the road somewhere. But I'm feeling that I must have missed it because of this big curve back in the road, if I remember correctly. This is sort of after it. Again, though, by now, like if you know, not that anyone's really, you know, does watch my videos, but if you have, you should know when I say, if I remember correctly, the answer is you didn't. And either way, if we don't get the waypoint, it's not the end of the world. We can, you know, we can get stuff done without it. Waypoints are a little less important to this character, or to any hardcore character, because if you do fuck up, you just, it doesn't matter. It's not like you're coming back, so. Alright. Head back up onto the road here. There must be a... Or not. Okay. Struggling with the nav. As per usual. Really struggling with the navigation. Oh yeah, feels good. Now we are also looking for a little hole in the ground in one of these places as well, which is going to be the nest that we have to clear. Ooh. And there it is. On the other side of this goddamned unbreakable fucking wall that I have to run all the way back up here. Okay, so no waypoint, but we're making progress. Now, this area here contains a side dungeon that I'm going to have to make the call in the moment whether or not I want to take it on, because it's pretty scary. It has one of the bosses that has claimed quite a number of my characters. It's just one of those ones where it can really give you that feeling that you're kind of doing okay, and then just one big hit and you're down. Very alarming to take a hardcore character in there. Okay, you guys play with that totem. I'll be up ahead here. Tunnels are great places for lightning bolt work. I don't know if anyone else remembers second edition D&D, where you had spells like lightning bolt, and one of the features of them in the older editions was that they deflected off of objects, right? So if you know, lightning bolt has like whatever it is, like a 120 foot range or something like that. So say you're standing 60 feet directly in front of a blank stone wall and you launch a lightning bolt at it. It travels the 60 feet, like affecting anything in between you and the wall, and then bounces back the 60 feet to make its total range and hits you in the face, right? But of course you could do all kinds of cool trick shots with them, like if you knew something was around a corner, you could fire it around the corner by banking it off the walls and stuff like that. Really cool feature that I don't think 3rd or Pathfinder has in it, which in my opinion is too bad. They removed a lot of that kind of quirky stuff that I just wish they had kept, because I don't know, man, magic is supposed to be quirky. Like, it's supposed to be kind of dumb and crazy, and they kind of nerfed the shit out of it. I believe I think I go probably about maybe 3 videos without complaining about how nerfed mages are in Pathfinder and 3rd. It's sort of a thing that I like to complain about, let's admit. Okay, these roots down here, okay, so this was a little secret side area. It's got nothing but a rotting carcass in it. But if we head down here, so we don't need to go down there to beat the queen, but we do need to go down there if we want to try our luck at clearing that little hidden area. And there's good reason to go down there, because for a reasonable amount of risk, we can get ourselves another point to spend in the devotion tree. And for a possibly less reasonable amount of risk, we can also try to kill ourselves the skull boss. You'll see what I'm talking about. Because I'm for sure going down there, but I don't know whether I'm going to take on that boss, because I have concerns. I have concerns about how that's going to turn out. Okay, so we're continuing to advance here. I'm thinking I'm probably going to throw a few more points into this just for the % health increase. You can see we just dropped an extra 381 health on ourselves there, or roughly thereabouts. I'm starting to feel like this character's maybe a bit fragile. Our health often bounces down almost to half, like really suddenly in fights. And that just means my reaction times are short. I'm old. I'm withered. I'm not that Unreal Tournament player of old. And if I don't give myself a lot of reaction time to tap a potion, I'm just going to be another sad ghost in the loading screen. All right, so here we go. As you see, we have been killing some elites on our way. You fuck right off, dude. So I'm gonna club you to death with my lightning thing. All right. As you notice, we've been killing a few elites on our way through here. We've been harvesting their pheromone sacs, these delicious looking little glands that we've got right here. And that is so that we can sniff our way past this bio gate and get into the queen's lair. Now the queen is going to be kind of interesting because she's a static, she's a 2-phase boss fight with a static opening phase. So we're going to see what we can do. I mean, as a static boss, our totems are going to give us a really nice sort of standoff fuckery opportunity where we can just kind of, you know, hang back, let the lightning do the work, sort of advance and drop another one every time it's cooled down. And we'll just sort of keep her poxed up as well so we can kind of watch her melt a little bit while we're doing it. But now the first thing I want to do is clear a bit of the ads in the room because as you can see, there are a fuck ton of ads in the room. We don't want to get ourselves kind of trapped because she is going to be kicking out some ranged attacks at us as well. And I just want to be able to move. Yeah, so okay, there she goes. She's lighting off ranged on us and dropping these poison pools that are actually a little bit of a hassle for us. So we'll back off and okay, try to deke around because we don't have really fantastic poison resist, as you can see there. Same old problem again with us just getting lit up. But look at her, speaking of getting lit up.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, alright, we actually do want a potion cooldown right now. There we go. Alright, so now it's alien queen fight time here where she comes after us. And the worst thing she's going to do to us here is she's going to start bringing the roof down. We actually don't want to get hit by those if we can avoid it because they do quite a bit of damage. And slightly stun us like that. Okay, but there we go. Our damage, too much for her. Alright, so there we go. Pretty straightforward. I kind of thought that one would be quite easy just because of how our build works. You know, it lets us hang back. But now, it's time to head downstairs, collect ourselves a devotion point, and decide whether we want to take the risk on Golus, who's clearly named after Golem. But in my opinion, is far more dangerous. Okay, let's get the pox going, the lightning going, start tidying up. I am very pleased about the XP rate we're getting right now. The XP return's pretty good. One thing that I haven't done in hardcore yet is complete the rep grind. Not only the rep grind, I haven't even really completed the content of Ashes of Malmok, and so I don't have Potions of Clarity, which give me 100% XP bonus. That's probably something I should do one of these days. I suppose I could do it with my Pyromancer. I mean, you still get a lot of damage, like, even though I would be doing it at Veteran. I would still get quite a bit of XP just because, you know, the level is still quite high. Okay, so I believe if I come up this way, I've got a breakable wall and the Forgotten Depths. Oh, and a body. I'll take that. Okay, so this area here, very similar to the cave we had in the mountains. Same type of monster arrangement. Same type of drops. But as you can see, dangerous domain. Alright, enemies have increased ether damage, but I don't think really many of them do much ether damage, so it's probably not really a bad one. We're doing a lot of, I believe, vitality damage down here. And I think there's also going to be some pretty significant Pretty significant bleed damage, I think, from, or vitality decay from Golas if we choose to take him on. I mean, you can tell that I'm talking my way into trying to take him out, right? Because I know, like, I have a lot of DPS, so I can probably do it. The issue, so he's right over there, basically. The issue is that he also has a phase where he will go invisible, rush you down, and deliver a close-in attack that does damage and does damage over time, and then he has a ranged attack which can do enough damage to actually outright kill a lot of characters. And again, I have been saying that this character does, if anything, it's feels great for DPS. I love how it delivers its offense. If I had a complaint, it would be how flimsy I feel on the defense. So taking him on might just be one of those things where it gets shown up to be a pretty fucking bad idea pretty quick off the bat. Now, what did I say I was going to take? I was going to take Eel, wasn't I? Yeah, there we go. All right. Yeah, I'm not a smart man. I'm going to do this. All right. Okay, let's get our curse on them. There he is. Now, one of the problems... Okay, he's in his invisible phase. Let's jump it. Get out of the way of that. That would fuck me right over. Jump him. He's going to go long again. Get out of the way. You see how much damage that did, even though I was just in the periphery? Yeah, fuck you. That was nice. All right, and he does have this really kick-ass drop as well. Level 35. But take a look at this green monster infrequent. 235 health with some health regen. Pretty good. +3 on McDragon's Pact as well. You look over at my my rings there. Real good chance that takes over one of those rings. 33 pierce resist on that one. It's pretty nice. It's probably going to be the blood seal that gets dropped when I'm level 35. I'm going to take that, which is coming right up. I mean, that's going to happen soon. All right, let's head over here. Let's pop this chest. And then let's call it a fucking day. And now the other thing is, because we don't have the waypoint outside, we actually have to manually climb our way out of this cave. I'm not going to make you guys suffer through that, though. All right. We're back on the surface, and we're going to press ahead. We're getting pretty close to the end of the video here, so we're just going to go and take on the amalgamation and then call it a day. That is another pretty risky fight, especially with 24% ether resist. But we do have to keep in mind we have that we have those ether clusters there that we can pop to give us that added damage resistance if we need it. Possibly a good idea to sort of stagger that with my with my healing potion. So if the potion is in cooldown and I'm taking a beating, then it's gonna be that up next, just to kind of reduce how much we're hemorrhaging health when we're in a situation like that. Okay, but we are going to just press ahead here because I do want to get there and get this finished. And that pretty much wraps this area. Now, like I said, there's some stuff that we didn't do on our way through these fields. And stuff that I'm just not going to bother doing, I don't think, in this particular playthrough. Now, if we ever do find ourselves needing XP, some of this stuff could be viable for me to come back and do, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Usually the veteran playthrough is pretty straightforward. I mean, there are these little pitfalls, like, this upcoming boss is going to be one of them. But by and large, I'm pretty confident. Okay, so just annihilate these guys. We're now very close. You can see that we're getting to this area here where they've sort of like that's one thing to remember when you look at the monsters here. These were all other people and or things, right? People or creatures. And that's how the ethereals work, right? And I was one of them as well. Like, I was also a taken. In other words, I was sort of controlled by one of these spirits that was causing shit. And I escaped it, but many of these people don't, and therefore they end up in this situation where they are sort of mutated and turned into one of these ethereal foot soldiers. Okay. But here it is. And you can see why this is a tough fight. We've got all these ground hazards all over here, and the boss is going to put down even more of them, so mobility becomes an issue here. So let's throw down some totems, and then we're going to go. And the key thing about this guy is, let's get him slowed, and then let's start dropping totems, and let's try to keep him around them. Look at his health. He's getting fucked in a big way. All right, I'm going to pop some damage resist, because we've got a lot of these ground effects damaging us, but look at that. That's a really clean and tidy kill on this guy. Now, I will share something about a build that I'm not doing, but a build that's a lot of fun. You might see this guy a few times trying to farm this. This is a best in slot offhand, and I mean best in slot offhand for Ether Ray builds. And the reason being, you look down, gives you +2 to Ether Ray, that's great. But it also gives you health drain off of Ether Ray. 6% of attack damage converted to health to Albrecht's Ether Ray. If you're an Ether Ray character, I don't really know how you play that build in towards endgame without having this item. It is absolutely clutch. And this is actually a fairly good one, although I would say you can get it with additional abilities, right? Like double, triple rare, that kind of thing. So this is just a rare. So not a great version of it, but it's an item that you will absolutely need if you're planning on playing that build, which you should, because it's really entertaining to go around and blaze through people with your frickin' lasers. All right. Anyway, though, we have basically tapped this area out. We're going to hit another level, I feel, when we get back to Homestead, because we've got a bunch of quests to cache. So let's do that. Let's hit another level and then let's call it a day. Okay, so this guy here, we cleared out the infestation in the fields. He wants us to kill the queen. We did that. Boom, there's our level. All right, and the other thing we can do as well is I believe we can go back to Devil's Crossing. Actually, maybe not. Yeah, no, I think that is the final cash-in for the food quest for Devil's Crossing. So we don't get anything else from that, but still, it's good. We got a level. Look at those XP rewards. They're great. Okay, and she's basically told us there that we need to head out and start working on the next phase, which is to the north here. But first, if we talk to Ulgrim, we've got another big choice for our playthrough. So he's telling us here they're trying to make friends with some of the other factions in the area that previously the Legion wouldn't really have associated with. We have two choices. We've got the Necromancers here, and we've got Corvin's Faithful here. So basically, you can pick either one of these. Once again, this isn't a lore playthrough, so I'm just going to give you the spoilers. Corvin's Faithful are actually bad guys. They might come across as sort of the paladins when you're making the choice at this stage, but they are being misled. Imagine that, a religious cult being misled by their leader. Anyways, we're not going to choose them. We're going to choose the Order of Death's Vigil, and that means that we are now at war with the Chosen. So when we encounter these guys, they will be allies. When we encounter these guys, they will be enemies. And that also means that the Black Legion will now work with the Order of Death's Vigil. Okay. So yeah, so she is obviously very nervous that we've been reading her diary, which turns out to be a little bit of romance she was writing. So we'll just tell her her secret is safe with us. And we've got one more quest to grab before we set out into the forest to the north here, the Blood Grove. This guy wants us to find dog tags and bring them back so that the dead can be honored. But we are just over half an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you come back next time where we take on the Cult of Chthon, the Chosen of Korvac, a bunch of demons, and the other nonsense of the Blood Grove. Till then, see you next time.